I spreaded my shit. Pause if needed for 10
I
years.
was like, what?
Yo, chill out, gang. All right.
I was
All
like,
right,
what are
nigga.
you saying?
All right, nigga. All right. All right, nigga. You got me. You got me. Welcome back. Another episode for the Play for Keys podcast. I am your host, Greg Goods.
I am your host, Jackson.
And man, this is episode 10.
Yeah, I feel like we deserve like a congratulations or clap or whatever.
Hey,
It's
man.
like the 10th episode. Like 10 is 10's an important number. You know, double digits. Even though it's technically like the 11th episode or something,
but technically 10 actual episodes.
Yeah, same difference.
Clap it up for some real ones. I have something in the background for us. but Jax, man, how you feeling, man?
Oh man, I'm actually doing horribly. This is terrible, you know. It's working. I can't keep doing it, so I'm going to start playing the lottery and hope I win.
I feel you on that, man. It's been a minute since I've done the lottery, man. I was definitely doing it a lot in Houston. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Really? I thought old people did the lottery. I ain't never done the lottery in my life, bro. I thought that was an old people thing.
I did that shit when like it started getting ridiculous. When I started seeing some bill or like 999 mil, I was like, look.
What would you do with the $1 billion? Because I don't even know what I would do with $1 billion. I'm not gonna lie.
$1 billion? You know what? I would never let. There's only select few people I would tell I had $1 billion on.
I would do that with any amount of money, honestly.
I would continue working like a job, kind of, sort of, like just kind of living like my everyday kind of life, but my house finna go crazy. You feel me? My car gonna be like, I'm gonna have like that nigga car, like that car, like, oh yeah, you that nigga car, and then I'm gonna have like a
jet,
solid
nigga.
A jet.
You gonna pull up to work in a jet?
Nah, but I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna be flying though. Like I'm gonna be going to different places. Like, I'm gonna go. I'm finna get mom's the new crib, and then make sure there's like a landing spot for my private jet in that fucking house. If it's gonna be in Houston, if I need to go fly out there real quick, go fly out there real quick. Nah, with $1 billion. No, my shorty. She'll find a way on how to use that shit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh my goodness.
Gonna cap to you. No, first of all, shout out to my girl. This is a JT Stan account. We support JT out here. We support this podcast. We support JT, the rapper JT.
I was I was like Jonathan Taylor. You talking about Justin Timberlake?
No. The woman, the rapper,
the city girl JT.
We support her. We support the shit out of her. My girl just came back from the Beyonce concert. Shout out to her. In the midst of her going to the concert, she was in Club Renaissance. Now, niggas don't know what Club Renaissance is. Club Renaissance is the VIP section of the Beyonce concert.
Damn.
So everybody that, is somebody is either in there or around it. So Jay-Z was there, DJ Khaled was there, JT was there, Lizzo was there, behind her, like right behind her. She paid. Hey, look, she paid some nice. I'm not gonna pocket watch her, but she paid a nice little change for that, and it happened to be Beyonce's birthday on that actual concert.
Oh yeah, I know that was crazy. So
it was crazy, right? She went with her friends. She wasn't thinking none of it. My girl is not like a fangirl to the point where she just wants pictures from all these people. So, she passed up JT. She said, oh shit, that's JT. JT came back and turned around. She's like, oh hey girly. She said, hey. And then nothing happened after that. We was cool. But you know how my girl is on social media, right? Like if she's at a concert, she finna record herself singing shit, singing her heart out. You saw what she was at Drake.
I
So
saw you singing too at Drake.
yeah, yeah.
Don't act like it was just her.
Hey, look, nigga, I play the role. You feel me? I do what I need to do. You feel me? But so she was doing her thing. Out of nowhere, JT spot her doing that. Glanced over her and said, "Hey, you a bad bitch. You know that? You a bad." Told my girl she a bad bitch, and then she was trying to play it off like, "Yeah, same to you." Da da da. Trying to give you the corporate answer. Soon as JT turned around, she was squealing cheese into her girl like, JT called me a bad bitch. Y'all niggas, y'all bitches can't tell me shit. Da 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 da. I was just like, look, cause there was a group of women. She ain't do all that. There was a whole bunch of women that was recording and shit. Pointed my girl out. Told her she was a bad bitch. She looked good. And to that, JT, this is a JT stand account.
I was so confused. I was like, where are you going with this? But
hey, shout out. Like I said, shout out to JT, man. Until she do something dumb. Now, if you do something stupid, like, hey, look, it's up, man.
I mean, she date Uzi, so she could turn into Doja Cat any second, you know.
I just had this image of Doja Cat as the demon.
Exactly.
Like on the chair, like all blacked out. Yeah,
she can end up like that at any second, bro.
Nah, you see, I pray that it's not that. I promise, I pray that it's not that. But other than that, I've been great, and it's time to pod, man. It's football season, but before we get to football season, gotta talk a little bit of basketball. This is the off season, you know. This go around, and probably moving forward, the off season, we get those topics out the way first. So we just gonna do NBA topic, some rumor reports with, I almost said Trae Young. The Lakers are interested in Trae Young. Now, this report happened like maybe 4 or 5 days before Christian Wood got signed and all this other stuff. So the initial reaction was I didn't really understand it outside of just talent. Like, okay, like he's a talent, so why not? But I didn't really get the angle of why the Lakers would want to get Trae Young. But hey, look, fuck it, why not? I think Trae Young is overhated anyway, so fuck it.
I mean, Trae Young, I can see why they want Trae Young, because one, they need shooting, because niggas can't really shoot like that. You already know they can't shoot with the Lakers, so they need that shooting. They need another ball handler, and Trae Young, he's like that. I think he led the league in like total assists the past 2 seasons or something like that. So that's gonna be like him and LeBron will be a interesting dynamic because they're both very ball dominant. But like the Lakers, they want that star power and that attraction. So I mean, I'm not surprised they want Trae Young. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of teams with not a good point guard want Trae Young. So it makes sense to me, but I feel like the Lakers, they're always like, oh, we want this guy, oh, we want that guy, and they think everybody want to come to LA because it's LA. So I don't really, when I hear rumors about the Lakers wanting somebody, I don't really put too much into it because who cares, bro?
Yeah, at the end of the day, nobody should care. But one thing I did, one thing I did want to bring up that at first we was really gonna throw this topic away before you said something. That I wanted you to dive in more into. Pause if needed.
I respect that.
You feel me? Hey, come on. I've been listening to Cam and Macy's past 2 days.
Bro, you seen OJ on that show, bro?
That's crazy.
That's OJ crazy. And Antonio Brown on the same show.
Which one was worse, OJ or I think OJ was probably the worst one. Cause I'm like, that's a wild thing. That's a wild. That's a wild
Antonio Brown
to get
is
into.
Very wild, but OJ is insane.
That's insane. Nah, that's insane. He definitely did that. Whatever he did, he definitely did.
1,000%. But let's not talk too much on OJ.
Hey, let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. But you did say something about Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks just not fucking with him. So I wanted you to, go more in depth in that.
Well, I mean, I've heard like not even her. Like I'm not no NBA insider or nothing, but like you hear a lot of people calling, not even just on social media, but like anonymous, like the anonymous coaches and GMs and all that. They'll be like, they say Trae Young is a coach killer and things like that. And for what it's worth, he has sort of killed a few coaches' careers in Atlanta. I know like the Hawks in general. I think it's a weird fit with Dejounte Murray. In all honesty, like it was. Like I guess I can see why they wanted him to pair up with Trae Young because he has length, pause of course. He's a great defender, things like that, and those are things Trae Young does not provide. But it just feels like they're both two ball dominant players, and it might be sort of easier to build around Dejounte because he's a more traditional style of point guard. And you don't have like with Trae Young, no matter what, you're always gonna have to make up for his deficiencies on defense because no matter what, he's still like he's not gonna get any taller. He's not gonna get any bigger. He's always gonna be like 6'1". And guards in the NBA now are 6'4", 200 pounds plus. And Trae Young, he's not that. So I can see that. I can see why they wouldn't want to move on from Trae Young. And he sort of he's painted as a villain in the NBA. And I think a lot of people in Atlanta sort of see him as that because like he sort of like leaned into that asshole personality, and it might be. I think it could be rubbing people the wrong way, and that could be sort of the reason why they might want to get him out of there. But Trae Young, he's still the star in Atlanta, so I think it's gonna be hard for them to really move him because he is that team.
The Atlanta moving on from Trae Young might be the dumbest thing that they may ever do. I just find it extremely stupid for them to even fathom that.
But you
I
have to
can
take
understand.
into account NBA teams are stupid.
Absolutely. The way you describe Trae Young and the DeJounte Murray situation, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, but from a trade aspect, it kind of seems like the Karl Anthony Towns, Gobert type of ordeal where we would rather keep Rudy Gobert then trade off Cat, even though Cat is probably the more offensively talented player.
Yeah.
I think that, it makes I can see it where they keep DeJounte Murray because he is a stat stuffer. Like you see his stat sheet and it's just like 25, 5, 7, 6, 4, 3. I'm like, yo, it's a lot of shit going on in this fucking stat sheet. Like a goddamn. So I get it. Niggas calling Trae Young a coach killer. I'm gonna be completely honest. Um, Trae Young, Luka, their careers is damn near identical at this point.
Luka's just a
We
bigger,
we
wider
think
version.
I think Luka. Trae Young, the way he is portrayed by the NBA and the way Luka Doncic is portrayed by the NBA, even though they have identical like playoff success, career
It's flirting
trajectory.
versus harassment.
I'm saying
It's that flirting versus
it's
harassment
that
beef.
it's that it's that empowerment versus nigga put a shirt on type shit like because we literally no cap. I remember 4 or 5 weeks ago we put on Save for Later in the topic Luka the coach killer.
We
We
did.
put that bitch on there, and you know what happened? It stayed there. I wonder why. Cause we feed into the narrative too, nigga.
No, I feel like we
Like
just forgot. Cause I hope
we in for
that hope be at the bottom of the notes, bro. I don't be scrolling that far.
it be at the bottom of the notes, but it's just like at this point in July, there's no reason to bring up this nigga Luka at this point, really for real. Unless I feel like we was gonna bring him up like if he had a rough start with Jason Kidd and they started saying Jason Kidd needs to be on the hot seat, then we would have to have a conversation like that. But the way that nigga the way that nigga went push Rick Carlisle out.
Yeah.
That nigga's the same as Trae Young. They came out the same draft class.
For what it's worth, Rick Carlisle was a bad coach by then. Like he used to be good. Now that not Rick Carlisle, not really like that. I don't think.
You don't think he gonna do nothing with the Pacers?
I think they'll do stuff in spite of him because the players are good. But like with the Mavericks, it was only Luka was the only good player, and he ain't like Luka because Luka's not. He probably not easy to get along with for real.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Me personally, I always thought Rick Carlisle, even at that stage, was better than Jason Kidd as a coach.
I
But it
don't know
seemed
about
like
Jason Kidd. It's still sort of early for me to see about Jason Kidd because like he had that stop in Milwaukee. He was trash. But that was his first time being a coach, and I think this was his second or third year with the Mavericks. And Mark Cuban ain't gave that man no help at all. Like,
and then took players away. Took Jalen Brunson away.
bro, like the only good player he has is well, he has Kyrie now, but it's Luka and two very like I like Kyrie and I like Luka, but two very difficult players.
Yeah. Derek, what? Derek Lively is the savior of this franchise. Like I look.
And he had
They need to
Christian
make the
Wood, who was
playoffs.
also a difficult player too. Like Mark Cuban, a trash
Nah,
owner, bro.
nah, nah, nah. Niggas was holding on hope for Christian Wood. Niggas just thought it was just a Rocket situation. No, nigga, this is just how he is, bro. This is just how he is, bro. He been like this, nigga. He been like this in Detroit too. So it's just like, I guess LeBron can help again get that nigga back in order, maybe. But it's not about LeBron. This is how he is, bro. Like he just think he better than what he actually is. And I fed into the narrative, like calling him a low budget AD back in the day. Like I was feeding into that shit. But it is what it is. Christian Wood is who he is, bro.
You're not gonna make it to the NBA or like as a
Oh yeah,
high level athlete if you're not a little bit delusional, you know.
you got
So,
to be. You
but
have to be.
he's just a lot of bit delusional. So it's
Yeah,
neither here nor there.
it's actually kind of disgusting how delusional this nigga can be. You feel me? It's really. But I'm gonna stay focused. But yeah, all in all, to wrap up this Trae Young conversation, tell me the difference between Trae Young and Luka Doncic. Outside of this nigga being 6'7".
And white. Well, I mean, Trey probably got some Caucasus Mountains in him. I
Oh,
don't know
for
what his
sure.
parents look like. His hair's sort of straight though.
Nah, we can talk about that nigga hair. That shit crazy. But
Yeah.
like, he's 6'7". I mean, yeah, Luka's 6'7". That's about it. He's a better rebounder. Them niggas shoot the same from three. Like Trae Young is just not like the greatest 3-pointer.
Trey probably shoots more than Luca. That's honestly why his numbers are down.
Yeah, and he be shooting them hoes from damn near half court.
And it's also harder for a 6'1" person to shoot the ball than a 6'7" person because he's short. Like,
yeah, but they're not. It's not like either of them are elite 3-point shooters to begin with. So they both went to the conference final. So yeah, it's just cool to say Luka at this point. But anyway, your final thoughts on this? We don't give a fuck. What's that Stephen A? What's that Stephen A. Smith shit? We do not. Oh no, that's
Mike Tomlin. He dropped another one too. He dropped another one too.
Oh fuck, he did.
Yeah, it was the same. He just we do not care.
we do not care.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. Speaking of shit we do care about, college football. The first week was it? What you said it was week 0 or was it week 1?
It was officially week 1. It was officially
week 1 of college football, and we kicked it off great. We kicked it off great with Colorado versus TCU, number 17 ranked TCU, the previous national championship runner up.
Yeah,
runner up. Yeah, that was fluke because they shouldn't have never been there. Georgia beat their ass so bad, it was crazy.
I think that's just Georgia just being that good, honestly.
Them niggas was eating chicken on the bench. That shit is crazy.
You gotta kill somebody to do that, honestly.
Man, imagine shaking a nigga hand that just been polishing off chicken on the sideline talking about good game. Nigga, that game wasn't good.
My hands is greasy because I just shook your hand now. Don't talk to me, nigga.
That game was not good. But Deion Sanders upsets TCU in high fashion. Shedeur Sanders breaking the college
I think it was Colorado.
The school record.
Yeah,
the school record of 510 yards.
Yeah, he was 38 for 47, 510 yards and 4 touchdowns with no interceptions.
No interceptions. Travis Hunter had a fucking day. Interception and touchdown in the same game. Playing both sides of the ball.
Literally. I was watching that game and I was like, Travis Hunter, I know he was a cold cornerback. So I was like, I was watching. I was like, yeah, he's definitely a better corner than receiver because he's not really doing much. Like in my head when I said that he had like 7 catches for 42 yards, he finished the game with 11 catches for 119 yards.
And
Like,
dropped a TD bomb that would have statted
yeah,
that even more. Like
yeah.
Shador through that shit, like it had to be like 50+ yards.
And then he was pass interfered on another touchdown, so it didn't really count because he couldn't get his feet in bound because the defender was like tackling him before he caught it.
Right.
But like that man, Travis Hunter is crazy. 11 catches for 119 yards. I think they say he played 100 and nearly 120 plays, and he was doing that in the Texas heat. He was like 100 degrees on the field. And like
Nigga was dancing in the locker room after the game.
he didn't even look tired for real, bro. I was just like, dang. But
There's a lot of niggas that be capping. Like there's a lot of niggas that like be in press conference be capping. And when he said, "Hey yo, I wasn't tired. Like I could have played a whole nother game." A lot of niggas can say that, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, you're capping. You just trying to flex." Taylor Rooks must be in the building somewhere. But this nigga here, I believe every time. Like when he said, I believe it. I really believe he can go back out there and play because he was not gassed. I didn't see the hands on the hips.
No, I saw him tired.
On the foot.
I saw him tired like one play in the first half, and I was like, yeah, he can't keep doing this. And then he came out the second half, went crazy. I was like, okay, maybe he can keep doing this. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I don't know what I'm talking about. So
that nigga got a second win, a third win, a fourth win. That nigga unlimited chocolate, bro. Like this shit crazy. But for Deion Sanders to upset after that nigga kept receipts. Yeah. Nigga definitely kept receipts. Talking.
Do you believe? Greg? Do you believe?
I believe.
All right, you better believe Deion will find you, nigga.
Look, that nigga know. That nigga Greg. You ain't believe, right? That's crazy. So I definitely believe, but I never doubted when we first talked about it. When we was talking about niggas was saying that he'd be lucky to win 3 games, and I said I was thinking more 6 or 7, and I said that still could be disrespectful on Deion, like the way Deion's thought process is, but I thought 6 or 7. But I've always thought 3 was crazy.
Not gonna lie. I did not believe. I was not a believer. And mind you, it's only been 1 game, but like, I sort of believe. I don't believe. I'll be honest, Deion. I don't believe all the way. You might hate me for that. I apologize, But I don't believe all the way. But I do think they will end up being good. If they beat, I need to see them. I think in week 3 or 4 they play USC. So if they beat USC, I believe. Or if that game's even close, I believe. Because seeing Travis Hunter versus Caleb Williams, I need to see that.
I need to see that too. And yo, and first of all, I hate this narrative that they always put on Deion Sanders when it comes to this media shit, bro. Like, I hate when national media members don't stand on their platforms, don't stand on what they what they say. There's a lot of niggas that's just like, oh, Deion dragging it out. Oh, Deion this, Deion that. I was like, nigga, you literally said. Some nigga said this would be the worst college football team
like that
this year. That's insane. That's insane.
Crazy.
Dick suck. There was one podcast that was like, oh yeah, like he came from coaching the JUCO. I was just like, that's crazy. That's also crazy because looking up Jackson State, the home of Walter Payton, by the way, and you call it a JUCO, that's crazy. That's mad dick suck. That's some hater ass shit. And then me personally, I knew Travis Hunter was gonna be cold, but I wasn't expecting this debut. If you thought this was gonna be the debut, either you Travis Hunter kinfolk, or you've been dick sucking for real. I did not know about that, but I was more concerned about Shador than anything, just to see how it was gonna translate. Because them edge rushers be edge rushing, But as soon as he started putting points on the board, I was like, I already know they finna move the goalposts and start talking about Big 12 defense. I was like, because y'all definitely wasn't gonna talk about Big 12 defense had them niggas lost. Y'all had them niggas. The spread was TCU was gonna beat these niggas 20 plus, like
That's
20 plus
disrespectful.
points. So now that these niggas won a close game, you're gonna be like, yeah, let's not get on our high horse too much. It is Big 12 defense. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Stop
Well,
crying.
I do
Stop
think
crying,
I
nigga.
do think the TCU defense being trash did contribute to a lot because their defense was trash. But for what it's worth, Colorado's defense was outside of Travis Hunter was also trash because they gave up 42 points. So it was like
That's
a
great.
battle of trash defenses. But like with Shador, he impressed me. Like because no disrespect to Jackson State, I ain't watched none of those games, bro. Like I seen one Jackson State game. I think it was a championship when that white boy dropped a touchdown and everybody got mad. I think that's the only time I watched Jackson State last year. So I had no idea what Shador was gonna be like. I for sure thought he was gonna be like one of them athlete type quarterbacks. Yes, I'm stereotyping because he's black. Ooh. But he came out I'm serious. That's what I thought. But he came out and he played the quarterback position like a true point guard. Like he was, and I know he worked out with Tom Brady, so you could sort of tell. Honestly, you could tell he worked out with Tom Brady. You could tell he had a dad that's been in the NFL and had access to high coaching and all this stuff. Because the way he it was like it was truly a point guard. Like it sort of reminded me of Bryce Young a little bit in college, except
Mm.
Shador's a little bigger, and I think Shador's also faster and probably has a stronger arm because I didn't know Shador's arm was going to be that strong. But the way he was sort of pinpointing passes with the accuracy, it was really impressive. And like you could tell, this is why I say he reminded me of Bryce Young because like Bryce Young could run, but he didn't want to run. And you could tell Shador had all the athleticism to run, and he can run, but he was waiting until the last second to throw the pass. And it was like it reminded me of Bryce Young and also a little bit of like young Russell Wilson. Although Russell Wilson, he would have ran a lot. He ran, but he would have ran a lot earlier. But with Shador, he sort of like has that behind the line of scrimmage game. You know, because back in the day, Russell Wilson, he'd be just running like a cartoon character, but behind the line of scrimmage, waiting for somebody to get open. That's sort of what he reminded me of. And now I
Yeah.
don't think Shador can continue to do that because like defense is probably gonna get better because TCU is a trash defense, like I said. But and he started to take some sacks, so that's not necessarily a sustainable thing. But it was just honestly, I was still impressed with Shador. I think he's gonna be really good, and honestly, he might mess around and play himself into a first round draft pick, like maybe top. Because I think Caleb Williams is gonna go number one, but he might Shador could end up going second overall, honestly, or rather be the second quarterback pick. I could see that for sure happening.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's still eligible to play next year. Like and I think the overall consensus is that he's going to stay another year and complete his 4 years. So he still has another year to play football and not even compete with Caleb Williams for real, for real.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the draft class is after them because I know Drake May finna be gone. That nigga Jordan Travis might be gone from Florida State, but Travis Hunter is a sophomore. Like that nigga still got legit two
Yeah.
years, and he getting coached by a nigga that understands what he does because he was that same nigga. Deion was playing both sides of the ball at one point and kickoff return. You know what I mean? Like and base and everything else. Like I don't even need to name this nigga stats for real. But with Shador, I was very impressed because I didn't know how his deep ball was going to be. Um, and also he doesn't even. You talk about somebody that doesn't want to run. He don't even scramble like early. Like he really be taking his time in the pocket. And as long as Deion has those niggas in the trenches, you know, at a very high level, not only this year but for next year. I know next year's draft class. I mean, the next year's recruiting class is probably gonna be even better than what this is.
Plus the transfer
But
portal, because I
plus,
know you seen
yeah,
that picture of Deion with the TCU
yeah,
player after the game
yeah.
talking to him. I'm like, that's the last person you want to see your player talking to.
Yeah, it's like honestly, like at this point right now, right here, right now, who who would you want to play for? Like from a coaching standpoint, outside of Nick Saban off of prestige, Deion Sanders right there, cause his recruiting finna go crazy.
And honestly, I
It's
think Deion Sanders, it sort of wrap this topic up because we sort of been long on it, but I think Deion Sanders and Nick Saban, they're really like the same person, in all honesty, in the way
yeah,
their coaching style. Like, because where Deion, he's more Southern Baptist gospel preachy and everything, but like Nick Saban was also a DB coach. Deion, he focuses on DBs a lot.
mm,
He's sort of a well, I almost said overseer. I don't like that term, but he's
gotcha.
sort of
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
he's sort of like the overall head coach of the team. He doesn't specialize on offense or defense. He oversee or he watches over everything.
yeah.
Like
We
a
know what
Nick,
you mean, nigga.
yeah, like a Nick Saban, and he runs like that tight ship and everything, like a Nick Saban, and like
Yeah,
he's like Nick Saban with more swag, honestly. So if I had to choose between Nick Saban or Dion, I'm probably
Team
gonna lean
Dion.
towards Dion. You know,
Yeah,
respectfully.
respectfully, like for Dion, and we'll wrap this topic up real soon. It's like with Dion, it's like on top of that, he's giving you a different approach to recruiting on the standpoint of, hey, nigga, like he already said in an interview, there's a few more Travis Hunters out there in high school that I'm trying to get, meaning like that can play both sides of the ball extremely well. And that's a different avenue because there's gonna be niggas like Nick Saban and other coaches that are very standoffish and being like, hey, no, you pick a side, either offense or defense. You're not playing both. And Dion has that capability to be like, hey, yo, like if you high quality and you can play both, I'm gonna let you play both. I'm gonna let you live that dream out. I'm gonna let you, rock out for real. So, before we wrap this up, they have another big game in Colorado against Nebraska. Who you got? Do you believe?
I believe because I don't think Nebraska's good, bro. I don't like they got Matt Rule as their coach. And Matt Rule, he was a good college coach and a terrible NFL coach. And I think he's gonna be. I just don't think Nebraska's a good football team, honestly. So I think Colorado got it.
That's what's up. Moral of the story: all you media members, stop crying, bro. If if you said something and it wasn't correct and it ended up not aging well, stand on it. Say I'm
Or
sorry or say my bad or just believe, nigga.
just admit you lied, bro. Like it'd be okay. I'll do that.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, my thing, I'll lie and I'll tell you I'm a lie. But
Yeah,
that's neither
man.
here nor there.
uh, moving on now to the big boy topics of the NFL. Still keeping the college going into the NFL. Caleb Williams. His dad had an interview with I think GQ magazine, one of these magazine companies, per usual.
Why is he
And
giving interviews, bro? Like, who want to
um,
interview this nigga dad? That's weird to me.
I mean, look, I think Uncle Dennis set the blueprint. Shout out to Kawhi. That's just me though. That's just me though.
You might
But
not be wrong.
but his dad got an interview, and towards the end of it, he was like, "Hey, yo, if he's not in a good situation, we can easily just go back to USC for another year if we don't like what we want to." What out of this organization or X, Y, and Z. Basically, just saying having that threatening of like we don't have to go to this organization if we don't want to. And Jax, before I go, because I feel like I might be shaking some things up. I just wanted to know your opinion on this.
Like with NIL and everything, all these college players are getting money now. And Caleb Williams, like, it's still crazy seeing college players on advertising. Like, I've seen him in the Heisman House commercials. I've seen him in the Wendy's commercials. I'll be like, what?
That
This is
nigga go
weird.
crazy.
Hashtag justice for Reggie Bush. But anyway, I see
Damn,
all
bro.
this like so he can hypothetically stay in college and make money because he's undoubtedly making millions right now. But I honestly think this is just like a tactic or whatever to like sort of like how Eli Manning did it because I think he was drafted by
The Chargers.
yeah,
The
he was
Chargers.
drafted
The
by the
Chargers.
Chargers or whatever, and he was like, I do not want to play in San Diego. Trade me because I'm never going to play for them. And I think it's something sort of like that because realistically, he's going to go to the NFL this season. Because say he stay in college one more year, and God forbid, of course, he get like a catastrophic injury, he can never play football again. Like his earning power will never like it's not going to go back up. Like with the NFL, you have that opportunity to make more money. You can't do that in college. So I think it's just them just saying stuff to sort of scare teams. If it's like a trash team, make sure they like trade that pick or something. But yeah, I don't. He's leaving. He's leaving school. He has to. I mean, he doesn't have to, but be for real, he has to.
This tactic is getting old, my niggas. It's getting old. It's getting fucking old, nigga. Hey, look, I'm not in the realm of disrespecting parents. And I know that Caleb Williams, in his defense, he ain't say none of this shit. And I hate when my mama say some shit and they come back to me and like, oh, this how you feel? Like, I would be upset too. Like, that's my mama's feelings. That's how she feel. At the end of the day, I am me. I'm a grown-ass man. But if I was Caleb Williams, I'd be like, Father, I love you, but shut the fuck up, my nigga, please. Like, we do this shit every year, bro. Not every year, but every time we have a quote-unquote generational type of quarterback, the first thing motherfuckers talking about is, hey, he may go back to college. He may do this. They did that shit with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has statistically one of the if not the best statistical
he threw
season
for 60 touchdowns, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I might go back to school." We're not stupid.
Talking about, oh yeah, if Cincinnati dysfunctional organization, like, oh yeah, we can go back to college. What'd he do? Get drafted, and in the second year took the fucking team to the fucking Super Bowl. All right, the Trevor Lawrence. I remember after his freshman year, them niggas was trying to change the rules so that nigga can leave early. Talking about, hey yo, like we can leave now, or versus, we don't know how we feel about the Jags. We don't know how we feel about that goofy nigga that coach, not Doug Peterson. Who was the last coach? Yeah, that goofy nigga Urban Myers. Like, we don't know about this organization. What happened? You got drafted and you beat what Jax will call an overrated quarterback in Justin Herbert, nigga. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
After being down like 3 touchdowns. You feel me? So, and look, some of these niggas win the Heisman's national. Look, was Trevor Lawrence in a national championship game?
Yeah, he has one.
Yeah. Did Joe Burrow have a national championship? He won a national championship.
Yeah.
And we out here talking about Caleb Williams, which I know, hey, you might be cold. But we're not even talking about playoffs with you right now. Like, we hope you get in there, but you're not even a lock. And we out here talking about you may go back to college, making what, $7 million? That's cool and all, but you finna fumble $78 million? You're not. Let's relax with all this shit, bro. Let's relax with these games that these niggas play, because all these NFL GMs are all thinking the same thing. They're gonna call you a fucking bluff. Go back, nigga. Go back. Because if you really like that for real, you will go to any organization and turn that bitch around. If it's the Cardinals, let's not act like the Cardinals have always been such a dysfunctional franchise for 15, 20 years like it's the Cleveland Browns or some shit. 2 years ago, they was in the fucking playoffs. Like, let's not kill a fucking narrative. I hate this. And maybe it's just the Houston Rockets in me that's getting me amped up, because we love to call people poverty franchises after 2 bad years or 3 bad years. Nigga, if you that nigga, you can go anywhere and change the trajectory of that organization. That's what great players. That's the separation between good players, great players, and legendary players, my nigga. So if you really like that, you gonna come out anyway. Let's stop this. Your dad really out here make you soft, my nigga.
They calling Caleb. They calling Caleb. They're literally calling him the next Patrick Mahomes, which is damn near blasphemous because it's Patrick Mahomes.
It's Patrick Mahomes.
But if they're calling you the next Patrick Mahomes, and you're like, oh no, let me go back to school. Don't be stupid, bro.
What?
Like we're actually
Don't
don't
do
think
no
we're
shit
not
like that.
stupid. Don't we're not dumb, bro. Don't try to play us, bro. We're not stupid. Stop it.
Like it's so crazy.
And then we're talking
It,
about the Cardinals and how he might not want to go to the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they might not even get the first overall pick because will the Cardinals actively tanking? Yes, they cut Colt McCoy, who's going to be their starter, and signed two. They're using Clayton Tune and Josh Dobbs, who they just signed, as their quarterbacks. So the Cardinals are actively tanking. Their head coach, he's like, have you seen the video of their head coach trying to motivate the team? It's one of the worst
nah,
things I've ever seen. It's not
nah, I
motivational
haven't seen that.
at all.
I haven't seen none of that shit. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Shot. Want me to send it or no?
Yes, send it to me. I just want to see.
All
I
right,
just want
hold
to see
on.
what we talking about.
The coach, he's one of the worst, or he hasn't coached a game yet, but he's a terrible coach. I could just tell from the video. And he also admitted he was it. But one thing he did do that I liked, he admitted that he was the reason the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. So it's cool. Take accountability. But regardless of that, he's not a good coach. The Cardinals, they're actively tanking, but apparently there's been this scandal going on that I first heard about maybe last week or 2 weeks ago when Steve Keim, he was a GM of the Cardinals, the former GM of the Cardinals, I believe, and he was suspended by the NFL for he had various DWIs and things like that. So the NFL suspended him, was like, hey, you can't have any type of contact with the team or anything like that. So the owner of the Cardinals, his name is Bidwell, I believe. Michael Bidwell, the owner of the Cardinals, he gave out burner phones to all the top executives and the head coach and was like, hey, man, I know he's suspended, but we're still going to need to contact him and everything. So he was giving out burner phones to the head coaches and the head coach, the assistant coaches, other executives. And obviously, if the GM suspended, you can't contact with them. That's a big no-no. And Steve Wilkes, who was their former head coach, he testified in court that the owner and Steve Keim knew about this and gave him burner phones to contact them. And the NFL, they don't technically that's cheating. So the NFL, they don't take that too lightly. So the Cardinals, they could be terrible. They could suck. They could get the number one overall pick. But I think the NFL is going to take that pick from them. So imagine doing all that tanking to get the number one over to get the quarterback of the future. If you don't like Kyler Murray, of course, and just to get the pick straight. Because normally, having a having a first round pick stripped has been a common punishment. That's what happened with the Dolphins. But normally, it'll be like teams in the back half of the draft who are getting a pick. We've never seen like a number one overall pick get taken from a team. So I think it's gonna be pretty funny to watch because it's definitely gonna happen.
And I, yeah, and maybe it's just because Phoenix in itself is just so hopeful that that shit's not gonna happen. That they're like, yeah, like there's no indication that they gonna strip us of da 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 da. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but ultimately, even even if even if they get that shit stripped, which is possible, them niggas still got a first round there with the Texans.
Yeah.
So you can pray on their downfall and be like, hey yo, like I hope these niggas lose enough games. They're not gonna win. They're not gonna. I don't think the Texans are gonna be bad enough to get the number one pick unless it just get crazy.
There's no way they
But
should be that bad.
like they shouldn't be that bad. But they should definitely still be a top 5 pick, top 6 pick, in my opinion. Um, Best case scenario for the Cardinals. You can trade up. You can use that pick and maybe package Kyler Murray to get up to the number one pick if you feel like you can do that. Or on top of that, even if you don't think, okay, even if you by the grace of God get both of your first round picks and still keep them, you could trade. You can still package up whatever you need to go get Caleb Williams if you really want that nigga for it. You have the availability to do so. But yeah, after looking at that Jonathan Gannon stuff, I don't I, I don't feel sorry for the nigga. I mean, like this woe is me mentality with some of these people that be like, oh man, like I'm the reason we lost the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts balled his ass off. He made one mistake by fumbling the ball, and that was the cost of winning a Super Bowl or losing a Super Bowl. He was going toe to toe with Patrick Mahomes, and it ended up being who had the ball last. So you can talk about that. You talking about that shit, and you bringing this shit up like you the fucking like it's the Seahawks versus the Broncos in that one Super Bowl where niggas was just getting annihilated by 50 fucking points. Yes, yeah, somebody needed to be at fault for that because somebody's team wasn't ready to play. But we acting like Jalen Hurts just fumbled under pressure or just wasn't making right reads, X, Y, and Z. Nigga, you did the best you could because nobody at the start of the season had you going to the Super Bowl. So cut all this bullshit out about, oh, look, I'm holding myself accountable, man. Fuck that, nigga. Like, what does that even mean for real? You did the best that you could. You did the best that you could, my nigga. All this woe is me accountability shit, bro. You supposed to come in there like, yo, I'm him. I me and Jalen Hurts proved a lot of motherfuckers wrong last season. And I'm trying to do the same thing with this fucking team. Like, you supposed to come in there with some kind of swag. You think Deion Sanders, you think, I'm not trying to bring up Deion, but like, you think all these other coaches gonna have a woe is me kind of thing going on? Nah, bro, that's not hyping nobody up. And I'm not gonna say I'm sorry either, nigga. Think I feel bad for the Eagles, nigga? Come on, bro. Stop it. But that's just me, though. That's me. Maybe I'm being too harsh.
Nah. Nah. Nah.
Like, that's just such a lame ass loser mentality to have about accountability. Why are we talking about accountability on the first meetup? Nah, bro.
Yeah, it's not gonna go good for the Cardinals. And shoot, it might not go good for the Chiefs too. Well, let me stop because they still have.
Nah, chill out.
They still got Patrick Mahomes.
Chill out, my nigga.
But Chris Jones, one of the best defenders in the NFL, arguably the best defender in the NFL, he's been holding out for the Chiefs because he wants a new contract. And I believe he's been holding out when you hold out in the NFL, because he's a veteran now, like if you hold out on your rookie contract, you can get those fines waived. But since he's a veteran, those fines are not waivable. So I think he's accrued over maybe $2 million in fines because he hasn't reported training camp, hasn't reported to any of the preseason games, hasn't even been to the facility because he wants a new contract. Because honestly, he deserves it. Last season, he had. All right, we're gonna have to timestamp because I got to find this nigga stats. All right,
Houston, Mississippi, crazy.
But last season, Chris Jones, he had 15, and this is an interior defensive lineman. He had 15 and a half sacks and a forced fumble. Or he had 15 and a half sacks and a fumble recovery, rather. And as an interior D lineman, getting sacks is incredibly difficult. So the fact that he can do that, get 15 of them things, is very impressive. He's one of the best defenders in the NFL, and he wants a rightful raise, He doesn't want to. I think it's said that he's willing to accept an $84.5 million contract over 3 years, and the Chiefs have only been offering him something around $60 to $70 million, which is a very big difference. Now he doesn't want. Now this contract, it wouldn't make him the highest paid player. It wouldn't make him the highest paid defender. It wouldn't even make him the highest paid DT. It'd make him the second highest because Aaron Donald, he's the first highest. And I think he just wants a fair contract, and he's not getting that. And the Chiefs, they actually play tonight. And Chris Jones, he will not report to the game because he doesn't have a contract. And he even said that once I get my contract, I'll be in the building and I'll be ready to play. And I truly believe that. So I think there's an instance of the Chiefs getting a little too cute and wanting to do something different, wanted to make a decision like drafting Clyde Edwards-Helaire instead of getting a receiver when they needed it, another too cute decision. And I don't think it's going to work out well for their defense, at least.
Yeah, I just think that the defensive side of the ball for the Chiefs is just as important as the offense. Like, Pat Mahomes is not catching interceptions, making tackles, all that shit. Like, yes, Pat Mahomes can only do so much. And it's very weird because organizations under Andy Reid, for the most part, they get their money, with the exception of that To incident that was kind of an outlier. But like, for the most part, things get done. And if I'm Pat Mahomes and if I'm Travis Kelce, I'm kind of looking at the Chiefs organization, and I'm just like, my nigga, what are y'all doing? Because we took pay cuts so we wouldn't have to deal with bullshit like this. We took pay cut. I spreaded my shit. Pause if needed for 10 years.
I was like, what?
Yo, chill out, gang. All right.
I was like, what nigga. Are you saying?
All right, nigga. All right. All right, nigga. You got me, nigga. It's cool. Anyway, I divided this contract within 10 years so that you could, deal the money out the best way you could. Travis Kelce is on a pay. Travis Kelce is not even he's not the highest paid tight end, even though he needs to be the highest paid tight end, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he is. So it's just like, we did this for a reason, so we could make sure we paid niggas like Chris Jones and whoever we needed to. Y'all didn't want to pay Tyreek Hill, fine. But like Chris Jones, that's an essential part of the defense, like right there.
They don't need no help on offense. They got Patrick Mahomes and Kelce. They'll be fine. They need
Chris Jones. So we looking at the Chiefs like, my nigga, what was the point? What was the point of taking pay cuts if we still got to deal with this shit? That's the only reason I'm kind of coming at it from a player's perspective, because the early reports before you just said what you said was that, hey yo, for the most part, it's like a $8 to $9 million difference, and the Chiefs organization feels like they're not low. It wasn't like a low ball situation. It just felt like Aaron Donald was an outlier, and that this is what needs to, this is what they thought was an acceptable pay. And Chris Jones like, nah, nigga, I want the highest thing because I'm playing like y'all need me, and y'all really do need me.
And he's not even asking for the Aaron Donald. He's asking for less than Aaron Donald. So like, exactly. What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, so it's why, like, Chris Jones said it the best. Everybody got assholes, and all they shit stink. Like, opinions are just like assholes. Everyone got one, and they all stink. Like, we can sit here and talk about all the reports, but at the end of the day, Chris Jones don't come off like a nigga that just is throwing a hissy fit about some shit. Like, he just want money. He just want his money, man.
Literally every press conference, like I think he was at like the Ronald McDonald house, like passing out burgers, and like they interviewed him, and he was like, "I just want a raise, bro. Like that's it. I'm not asking for too much. Like once I get that raise, I'll be in the building. I want to keep playing."
Yeah. So I look at that and it's just like, Unfortunately, I trust the Chiefs because I feel like at some point it's going to get done. I just don't see them not being able to get this shit done. And I still think that they're going to be fine. They may not be undefeated, but I do feel like they'll be fine with the first 2 or 3 weeks of their schedule, because they're not playing nobody crazy within the first 2 or 3 weeks.
But once it gets to the nitty gritty.
Once it gets to nitty gritty, you're gonna need that nigga. And you're gonna need that nigga like in reps, because Chris Jones saying he gonna be, good to go as soon as the contract is done. Yeah, you still gotta work yourself into like football. And you don't do that without getting hit and all this extra shit. So like at the end of the day, he's saying what he's saying. But I still think about Zeke and all these other niggas, and I'm not calling a nigga Zeke, but I'm thinking of all these niggas that still had to work their way in. So you need to get that shit done early so he can, rev up. So when it's time to play this, big time competition, he's at his A game, and he's really making that same impact on the defense. And we ain't got to hear from this shit no more. It's very weird to get this from the Chiefs, but hey, when you a Super Bowl champion times 2, you start doing some razzle dazzle. You start throwing parsley on. You start throwing parsley on some shit when I just ask for something to as is, my nigga.
I just want a
start
burger
throwing garnish.
You put parsley on my burger. I ain't asked for that, bro. I just want a burger, bro. Like
you throwing lemon pepper sauce on the fries. It's like I guess that's cool, but like I ain't really asked for that. Stick with the Cajun seasoning, nigga. Like let's chill out. But yeah, ultimately, they need to get it done.
Yeah.
Point blank. Period. But yeah, man.
But I mean, we're
Well,
speaking on the Chiefs. We can go straight into our NFL division winner talk.
mm, mm.
And now me and Greg, we've been thinking about we've been thinking about who we feel is going to win the divisions, and we have a lot of similar answers. I think for the AFC, we might have went everything the same, but
Yeah, we
NFC is
went
a little
verbatim.
different. But we can start with the
Start with the AFC. Yeah.
AFC West, and that's we both think the Chiefs are going to win because they have Patrick Mahomes. Like, what can you say about that? Honestly, so we don't even got to spend too much time on that.
Yeah, nigga. Until proven otherwise, nigga, that's his division, nigga.
Exactly.
That's like the old school Tom Brady back when that
Literally.
division, that AFC West was trash. Like it's, all right, nigga. Like you're
Yeah,
come on,
that's
bro.
there's nothing we
Come
can.
on, game.
It's Mahomes, so we ain't got to say too much on that. Now
Oh
we can
God.
go to the AFC North. I have the Ravens winning, and I believe you have that as well.
I do have the Ravens winning. I that's gonna be one of those divisions where there's gonna be three decent teams, and one of those teams is not gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think all the teams are gonna be good because
The
even the
Steelers gonna be good
Browns,
too.
like
Mm-hmm.
the Browns are great on paper. Like I think that's a tougher division in football, and I mean it always is because just historically, it's just
Historically
crazy.
been the greatness. Yeah, so it's gonna be nail tight, but like I just want to see I I just want to see what Lamar can do with some real life better receivers than what he been having, and a rejuvenated Lamar that's ready to get back on the football field, stay healthy. If he plays the full season, look, I just see them winning that division this year. That's just me.
Now, hot take. This is not my official hot take at the end of the podcast, but like,
For sure.
I think Lamar gonna win MVP this season. Honestly,
I think he gonna
like
be. I think so too.
he finally got the weapons. We don't know about his offensive coordinator. He was a college coordinator, so he could be good. I'm not really sure, but if he
Yeah.
has that creative offense, I mean, hey, let him cook. Like, because Lamar, he's a quarterback. You can say let him cook, and he'll cook.
Nah, dead ass.
So I'm
Dead ass.
ready
He
to
would.
see that. I'm for
And
sure
they
ready
have an
to see
all
that.
black. They all have an all black quarterback room.
Oh, they
The only
do.
the only all black quarterback room, if I'm not mistaken.
I think even the
Um,
quarterback coaches are black too. So
yeah, there, yes, it's all black, and I gotta support that. I
yeah.
gotta support that. Like, shout out to them.
Now moving on to the AFC South, we both have the Jaguars winning that division.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's
Look,
pretty,
everybody else is rebuilding for real. So
except for Tennessee, they're not rebuilding, but they're not building. They're just there being weird. Like,
Hey, DeAndre Hopkins not moving that needle, bro. I'm sorry.
I think D Hop gonna have a great season because he always like it. Don't matter who the quarterback, D Hop's gonna have a great season, but
Yeah,
they're
not
not.
moving the needle.
The Titans, they're not doing nothing. And then the Texans are young with CJ Stroud at quarterback. He's gonna be a rookie quarterback. You know how that go. And
And the
then
Colts.
the Colts are a dumpster fire. So, I mean, for Anthony Richardson's sake, I hope they're okay. But I mean, man, listen, I don't know what's going on.
Listen, man.
But the Jags, they were in the playoff last year. Trevor Lawrence, he was great last postseason. He's probably gonna take another step. Uh,
Honestly,
they
Doug
revamped their
Peterson going
offense. They
crazy.
got Calvin Ridley. He's off suspension now. Got
Jesus.
Zay Jones and Christian Kirk. They're back. Travis Etienne, he's back. Evan Ingram back. They drafted a new running back as well. Tank Bigsby, he's gonna be solid. Like they just got a good team, honestly.
Right.
And they had the number one overall pick last year, and he's expected to take a step up as well. Trayvon Walker, along with the
Okay.
defensive Josh Allen, not the quarterback Josh Allen. So it's gonna it's their division to lose, and they shouldn't lose unless, of course, injury or something.
For sure.
And now the AFC East, I have the Bills winning. Who do you have winning?
I have the Bills winning because I have the Bills winning, and they're probably gonna lose the first round. Like, I just think that they're a great regular season team,
Yeah,
and that's about it. The only reason why the Jets wouldn't win this division is because I just think that the Bills is just like the old school Chiefs, the current Vikings, where it's like, yeah, you're gonna win all these games, but when it's time to go to the playoffs, I don't have faith in you for real. Like it is what it is.
So is Josh Allen
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins?
I can't say I can't go that far. I can't. I'm really not as high on Josh Allen as other people, but I still can't go that far, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you. I'm not letting that Netflix documentary sway me, nigga. I know what Kirk Cousins is, nigga. He a good dude. That's it, nigga. That's it. That's it, nigga. I'm sorry.
He a
You
good
can't get
dude.
me off my pivot with that, nigga.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
gosh.
But yeah, I got the Bills, unfortunately.
Yeah, the
I don't
Bills,
know.
they're a real regular season team.
And they
I
finna blow this bitch up next year. So it don't
really.
matter.
You think if
Yes.
they go first round and lose, or if they don't make the Super Bowl, you think they're gonna fire the coach
Who's their coach?
McDermott?
Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
They might, but they gonna make some real moves. They may move Diggs. They gonna do some shit. Like it's gonna be some real
Moving
movement.
Diggs.
They gonna do something.
I'm not gonna lie.
They gonna do,
If they move Diggs, I think Josh Allen's going to regress horribly because
okay.
Diggs is the reason his career took off for real. So they move Diggs. That'll be something interesting to see.
Yeah. Look, if they contributed to a running game outside of just using Josh Allen, maybe I would feel a little differently about the fucking Bills.
And that's the thing that
Yeah.
don't make no like it's Buffalo, but they're playing Buffalo, New York. They don't have their stadium. It's not a dome. It's like open. There's no roof on their stadium. It's gonna get cold. It's gonna snow.
It,
You
it
need a
be
running.
snowing, nigga.
You need a running game for those cold months. Like when it get to late October and on, bro. Like you need that running game. You need somebody that can. You need a big physical running back that can just run somebody over. They got Josh. They got their quarterback doing that, and he got
That's
hurt
crazy.
last year doing that.
That's crazy. And
And
I'm trying
all
to
their
see,
running backs are like 5'10", 190 pounds, and like catch the football. That's not what they need
bro.
right now.
Come on, bro. Why didn't y'all go get Dalvin Cook? I don't understand. But that I
They got
digress.
Dalvin Cook at home. They got his brother.
Mm, okay. Y'all better hope Dalton Kincaid help y'all niggas out, man.
And yeah, they
Shit,
still don't got a secondary receiver. Man, why are you playing? Watch the Jets mess around to win this division. Like the more we talk about it,
that nigga talking.
the more we talk about
No,
it.
it was a hard decision for me because I really was like, yo, the Jets gonna hit this home. But at the same time, I was just like, the Jets schedule is kind of tough. I ain't gonna lie. And the Bills, they just a regular season team. I see them doing that shit. But it is what it is, bro. It is
Like
what
the
it is.
only reason the Jets wouldn't win, I feel like they need that. They need that. They need a little bit more chemistry. Like they're gonna make the playoffs, but I think they need more
Yeah,
chemistry and all that.
more chemistry. Yeah.
Now, as we transition to the NFC, let's start with the NFC West. All right, so with the NFC West, I have the 49ers winning. Who do you have winning?
I also begrudgingly have the 49ers winning. Um, just because I really think the Seahawks are really gonna make make it really tough for the 49ers to win this division. They not just lying down easily. I believe that Geno Smith is solid. It's a solid
I think
quarterback.
Geno Smith is good.
Yeah, he is good. I ain't gonna lie, he is good. We got to that point where he is legitly good, and I don't know shit about Brock Purdy for me to just confidently just say, "Oh, he run this division."
Yeah.
No, nigga. So,
And if the
I think the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are gonna get in a wild card spot, but I just was like, I don't know if I'm gonna confidently be able to put them as the winning this division.
if the Niners win, I don't believe it'll be because of their offense. It'll be like I really chose this because their defense, because they have I I think it's the best defense in
Bosa.
the NFL. This the best, or it's top three defense in the NFL because they got Nick Bosa, who's the best defensive end in the league right now. They got Fred Warner, best
Yeah.
linebacker in the league. Their DBs are a little suspect. That's the only thing, but
Okay.
regardless, they got Nick Bosa, and they just got Javon Hargrave from the Eagles. So
Yeah.
that's two crazy D linemen and Fred Warner and Drake Greenlaw at linebackers. So they're going to be good. I think they'll more than make up for their lack of really good DBs. So I think the Niners have this division, but the Seahawks will
MAGA
keep it
Nick.
close.
MAGA Nick, man.
He just
That
got that
boy
new
MAGA
contract.
Nick,
He's gonna
nigga,
send Donald
bro.
Trump a nice donation. So everything looking good over there in San Francisco.
A real red hatter. Let's get it. I'm playing.
Now we move on to the NFC North. I have the Detroit Lions winning that division. Who do you have?
Oh shit. Who did I have? Cause I know I ain't had them niggas. I had. Who the fuck did I have? I'm tripping. Oh, I had the Vikings. I had the Vikings. Another regular season ass team.
It sounded to me like that quarterback show got you. You know, you said it didn't influence you, but
Hey, all right, nigga. All right, nigga. Look here. I told you, like I said, with the Buffalo Bills. The same logic I have with the Buffalo Bills, I transferred that shit over to the Minnesota Vikings. They gonna win them games. Did you expect them niggas to win all them goddamn games last year?
Who, the Lions or the Vikings?
No, the Vikings.
Yeah, bro, it's the Vikings. They solid.
So all of a sudden, we just gonna move away from that.
Yeah.
And this year it's just like, oh yeah, Detroit really got it this year.
Cause they do got it this year, bro.
Nah. They're gonna be good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They're gonna be good. And if they end up getting to the playoffs or whatever, cool. Like, I get it. I'm not even high on this team as I am other teams in that division. Me personally, I'm a Justin Fields fan right now.
Well, I think Justin
I'm
Fields
very
is
high
good.
on the Bears
I think the
right
Bears
now.
Gonna suck though. I just because the
Nah.
Bears. Well, I think the Bears they have to be the team in that division. Like somebody has to be bad. Somebody has to be the worst team. It's gonna be the Bears. I think.
I thought it was gonna be Green Bay. I think it's gonna be Green Bay. Honestly,
I think
it's gonna be Green Bay.
I think their team around Jordan Love is too. Like, we haven't really seen Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's gonna be solid, but like the team around him is good. Outside of, like, they have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, two good running backs. Every young quarterback needs a good running back. Take notes, Indianapolis. Their receivers are, I think Christian Watson, he's still developing, but I think he's good.
He's solid.
They just drafted a tight end, and rookie tight ends, sometimes they pop, sometimes they don't, so it's a little iffy. But I think their defense is solid. They got Jared Alexander. They have Rashawn Gary. I forget. I think they have a cold linebacker. I can't remember, but their defense is pretty solid, and their O-line is solid as well. So Jordan Love's going to be protected. So I think the team around Jordan Love is sort of too good for him to fall flat on his face and be trash.
This is an underrated division. This will be an underrated division. Like, I think they're all going to rise to the occasion. They're going to have some games where, like, they're going to really pop and really be like, oh yeah, like some of these teams, like the Green Bay Packers, gonna have some games where it's like, are looking solid. Same with the Chicago Bears. This is not gonna be the same Chicago Bears from last year. And look, the way I feel about Detroit, it's been the same. It's been very consistent. These past episodes, going all the way back to that fucking draft. I ain't like how they drafted. I've been told you that. I'm like, nigga, what kind of draft is this? Me personally, and they got them niggas, them suspension ass niggas. It's cool. I get it.
The only suspension they have that matters, I feel like, is Jameson Williams, because he's their deep threat receiver. But all the other suspensions, you don't really. Who cares? But like Detroit, their offense last year was good, and I think it's going to continue to be good because they still have Jared Goff. They got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, so that's the same type of running backs they had as the running backs they had last year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's just a cold receiver, so they got that. But in their own line is probably the best in the NFL. But their biggest improvement is on defense because they drafted because last year their defense was terrible. Like, I think it was like 31st in the league. It was piss poor. But they drafted Jack Campbell, who's that linebacker who everybody was like, why did they draft him in the first round? But he's looked pretty solid in the preseason. They got a whole new rotation of DBs, and it's led by Brian Branch, who they drafted out of Alabama. And Alabama DB, more often than not, they end up being good in the NFL. That's just how it happens. Yeah. And then they also got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So he's also just he's been good everywhere he goes. I don't know why teams just don't keep him on their roster. But he's literally been good everywhere he goes, and he's going to continue to do that. So I think that's going to be the reason Detroit is good this year, honestly, and that's the reason they're going to win this division.
Okay, and I said the Vikings mainly because them niggas got jealous. Be honest with you. They got jealous.
I mean, I can't even hate on you for that. You can't hate on. I can't hate on you for that.
I'm like, look, it's cool and all, but it's good. Like, I think I'm not saying that they're gonna overuse Jameer Gibbs, but it's just a lot of not necessarily pressure, but like it's just a lot of expectations on Jameer Gibbs, and I like him, but it's just like, man, like this is a lot of pressure to put on this nigga,
Hey,
and then win the division. Like hey, look, I hope you wrong, cause I don't want to see the Vikings in the motherfucking playoffs. I'm tired of them niggas. Be honest with you, nigga. I'm gonna just be real with you, but you know, it is what it is.
and then moving on to the NFC South, I have the Saints winning. That division is terrible. Let me get out. That's the worst division in football. All these teams suck.
Yeah.
Like if they could all
Yes.
finish with like a 3-10 record or a 3-14 record, they would. But that's just not physically possible. But yeah, I have the Saints winning that division. And who do you have?
I have the Buccaneers winning this division.
The same
My
the Tampa Bay
the Buc
Buccaneers with Baker
the Tampa
Mayfield at
Bay
quarter. Those
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm a go out on rim and say that. And here's my reasoning. I truly believe that this is a division. This is the only division where you can really coin flip, and any one of these teams could win. You can convince yourself to figure out a way for the Carolina Panthers to win this division. You can find an injury prone way to find how Bijan Robinson carries these niggas to a 6-7 record and make the fucking playoffs. I'm just not very high on the New Orleans Saints. I just don't think that just implementing Derek Carr and then having the corpse of what used to be very good talent is just going to be like an automatic, oh, this is just a walkthrough division. Saints clear, nigga. It's cool. But at the end of the day, I haven't seen Alvin Kamara be Alvin Kamara in quite some time.
he had one bad year, bro. One bad.
I just haven't. It's one bad year on top of like I just haven't seen him just be who Alvin Kamara used to be. This nigga Jimmy Graham just got arrested doing some weird shit.
What?
Like, yeah, you don't remember that? Like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Jimmy Graham? What?
Yes, that 40-year-old man. Yes, that nigga got arrested or some shit, or he got detained.
Oh my gosh.
Like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. We was gonna bring it up. We was gonna bring it up on the show, but like by that time, I think it was like a mental health thing. Like,
Oh my gosh. It said he
like,
had a medical episode and he was arrested on suspicion of being under the influence of narcotics.
Yeah.
Being arrested. I feel like you shouldn't be able to get arrested for somebody suspecting you to be.
That's why drugs. That's why I said detained. I cleaned it up and said detained.
Now he was arrested. He was arrested.
Oh, he was arrested. But like I'm saying, like, look, even if he didn't get arrested, nigga, a 40-year-old having a medical episode and you still want to play football, it's a red flag, my nigga. I'm sorry. You cannot convince me that that's still a good idea. You had an openly medical episode, and you say, you know what? To combat this, I'm throwing some shoulder pads on as a 40-year-old man. You was the main nigga that said he was a part of the Obama administration the last time we seen this nigga play in the Saints jersey.
Yeah, I did say that.
So look, that nigga old. So I'm not very high on the New Orleans Saints. That's all I'm saying. This is a coin flip division. Even if the Buccaneers don't win this division, we gonna look at this division and be like, damn, anybody could have won this bitch for real, for real.
Nobody should have won that division. That division. They shouldn't be able to go to the playoffs.
Nobody clears in that division, and that's why I just went on the limb and said, fuck it. Let me see Baker win that bitch, because at least I get to see Mike Evans. But that's about it. That's about it for that squad. I ain't gonna lie.
The only thing I think the Saints are going to win because honestly, I think Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than Derek Carr.
Yes, he is.
But they are starting Derek Carr for whatever reason. But the Saints, they have Cam Jordan, who's future Hall of Famer. People are waiting for him to decline. He really hasn't. He's just been great and solid his entire career. He's gonna be that leader of that defense. They got Demario Davis, who's also people been waiting for him to decline because he's like damn near 40, but he's still solid as a linebacker. They got Marshawn Lattimore, Cole DB, and then they got they got Chris Olave, and Chris Olave, I think he's going to take a step. This he was great last year. Like he had 1,000 yards as a rookie and all that. He was great last year, but I think he's going to take another step and really help elevate that offense. And then once Alvin Kamara comes off his suspension, I think he's going to get back to being normal Alvin Kamara. So I could see the Saints winning this. It'll be a terrible, like ugly division with ugly record, but I could see the Saints winning with like a 7-10 record or like 8-9 record or something ugly like that.
Yeah.
But now we move on to the NFC East. And I have the Dallas Cowboys winning, and that's not because I'm a biased Cowboys fan. Because I'm not a bias. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm not biased. But NFC East, the winner of that division rotates every single year, so it's the Cowboys' turn, and I think they actually have a great team. But who do you have winning?
I have the New York Giants.
Don't piss me off.
Winning. I have.
We had a good episode, everybody. It's time to wrap it up. Greg's on drugs.
You see?
We can't.
But this sounds like a biased Cowboys fan saying this. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that nigga said wrap it up. All right, bro. Look, I'm under the suspicion that somebody not named the Eagles is going to win this division because we haven't had back-to-back division champions in over 20 years. So I just believe due to the Cowboys' tough-ass schedule, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to just win the division with them 12 wins that they had these back-to-back seasons, even though they are a great team. And I look at the Giants. I don't like the Giants. I'm going to be honest with you. And I think they're going to get bumped in the first round, just like I think the Vikings are going to get bumped in the first round if they ever win this fucking playoffs. I think it's the Eagles and the Cowboys and then everybody else down below in that fucking division. But the Eagles won last year. And I really do believe that the Cowboys have a tough-ass schedule. And it's just going to be very hard for them to... And if they do it, hey, like Jack says all the time, I'm going to act like I ain't never said this shit.
As you should.
I'm going to act like I ain't never said this shit. But I just think that the Giants are just going to be like a little sneaky team like they did last year. And they just sneak up and you be like, damn, when the fuck did they get 11 wins? When did they get 10 wins? What the fuck? The fuck is this? Because they're going to lose. They're going to lose this first game. And then after that, they may lose the second game too. And niggas is not gonna talk about the Giants. Nobody's gonna think about them. And then they're gonna pop up in December, and they're like, "Damn, where did 9 and 10 wins come from? What the fuck?" Because everybody's gonna be talking about the Cowboys. And I just think like I said, I just think our schedule is tough. Now, if I'm proven wrong, I'm proven wrong. But I know for damn sure it ain't gonna be the Eagles. That's what I know for damn sure it ain't gonna be. But yeah.
Now, with that being said,
I'm not confident in my pick, so fuck you.
I have something to say on the Giants, but I'll save that for a little bit down the road. But now we gotta get into since football season's officially starting. We're gonna get into our picks for a couple games. Sir.
Let me break this down. All right, so this is what happens, right? There's a lot of NFL analysts out there. There's a lot of NFL experts. And we are going to put our knowledge to the test, our probability to the test, to see if we are better than NFL experts or not. So with that being said, me personally, I'm going to keep track of all of our picks this season. And we will have an overall record at the end of the regular season to see what our overall total is compared to the greats that do this shit on television. So, you can comment down below. I'm going to make a poll for this episode for Spotify. Who going to have the better record, me or Jax?
Me. But, this
nigga really said that shit confidently. That's crazy.
I will. But let's go ahead and pick our first game, which is, the first game of the season, which will be happening tonight because we're recording this on a Thursday. It's going to be the Chiefs versus the Lions. And despite Chris Jones not being there, despite Travis Kelce having a questionable knee injury, people are concerned about his ACL and everything. I think I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes, honestly. So I think the Chiefs are going to win.
I believe that the Chiefs are going to win. I think they're going to win Chris Jones. That's cool. I think that Jared Goff is gonna look very clean in that pocket tonight. Like, there's not gonna be any kind of pass rush for real. So it'll be a close game. I think it's gonna be like a field goal touchdown kind of ordeal. Patrick Mahomes not blowing this team out the water, but they gonna win.
All right, now we move on to our Sunday night football matchup game. That will be the Cowboys versus the Giants, and the Cowboys are going to win this football game because the New York Giants are a bad football team. Who do you have winning?
I have the Cowboys, and I have them like pretty like definitively. Like I have like a 10 point plus.
It could get ugly.
It can get
actually ugly. It's an NFC East game. Those games be like Dallas is going to win, but those games be weird. Like sometimes it ends up being close for no reason because that's just what happens in that division. Honestly,
yeah, the Cowboys do be weird, but I still if they playing like they need to play, yeah. Cowboys by +10.
Now our Monday night football matchup is the
Jets versus the Bills.
All right, and with that game, we were talking about the Bills, and I said the Bills are going to win the division, but like, I might have talked myself out of that. I think I'm gonna go with the Jets.
I'm going the Jets too. I thought you was really gonna go to Bills. I'm going the Jets. They got Sexy Red on their side.
No, never mind. I'm going to Bills. Going to Bills. I gotta be there. We can't choose the same teams the whole time, bro. I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Bills.
When Sauce Gardner catches that pick and the DJ plays Ski Yee in the building, that bitch turning up. I ain't gonna lie to you. They turning the fuck up, nigga. I think the Jets are gonna win. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bills win this bitch either. So, I mean,
it should be a good game.
Poison. It's a good game.
Yeah. Now I hope we can blowout because we said it's gonna be a good game.
I hope not. They got Dalvin Cook. They got some people. You know what I mean? Like, let's turn up. But on top of these, this is what we're gonna do. We tend to do all the night games. Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night. We'll do one lock-in pick of the week, and we'll put one upset alert of the week. Jackson, who is your lock-in pick of the week?
My lock-in pick of the week is a 1,100% lock-in. The Ravens are going to beat the Houston Texans. Like, that's going to happen. Unless, like, crazy injuries or something like that happen, which, knock on wood, it doesn't happen. But the Ravens are going to beat the Texans.
My lock-in pick of the week is going to be the Eagles versus the Patriots. It was originally going to be the Texans versus the Ravens, but I'll let Jackson have that one. He can have that pick. And I think for lock-in, as we get more into the season, I think we need to spice up the lock-in. Like, put the what the betting odds are. Because they have them for +10. They have Baltimore Ravens plus
they should win by 10 plus points.
By 10. But at the same time, DeMeco Ryans teams, they be playing hard. So I probably would have taken. I don't like playing like a 10 plus game type of like bet, because you can still win by 7 and it can still be like a dominant game. They just got a touchdown like the last 4 seconds type shit. You know what I mean? So we might have to make it spicy if it gets too like, oh, it's the who's a sorry team, the Atlanta Hawks versus the Atlanta Falcons versus the Chiefs. Nigga, that's a lock. You know what I mean? But you gotta take that bet. But that's my lock-in. My lock-in is Eagles versus Patriots. No real reason, just off of Jalen Hurts, and I don't believe in Mac Jones or anything going on right there. Yeah. Go Zeke though. Go Zeke.
I hope Zeke rushed for 200 yards in a loss.
You saw that nigga reversible chain?
I thought he been had that though.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he been had that, but like it's still kind of cold. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that, and then my upset alert. I'm taking the Steelers over the 49ers. I think Mike Tomlin starts this bitch off strong.
I think it was last week I was talking about how Mike Tomlin is a better coach than Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, so that's definitely, I could 100% see that happening.
And yeah, they are notorious for winning their week 1 matchups. They beat the Bengals last year. off a field goal, I think.
Mhm.
So, and Tomlin, I trust. How about you?
My upset alert. I think it'll be. I think the Browns are going to beat the Bengals. Because I'm still just a tad bit worried about Joe Burrow. You know, he's been practicing and all that, but he did have that little, not even little. He had that calf injury scare, so
That was
that was a
a
thing.
injury scare.
And the Browns, they're just. I feel like just one of these, like the Browns, they just can't be bad forever. Like one of these years, something has to click. Like they're too good on paper. They have, Bill Cosby at quarterback. They have Nick
God
Chubb.
damn.
They got Amari Cooper, Miles Garrett. Like they have a good team on paper. It's just like they just be sucking sometimes. It makes no sense. But I think the Browns are gonna win this game against the Bengals.
And that is who your upset alert will be. And low key, it's an upset by default, but historically, these past 6 years, the Browns always be beating the Bengals. So I'm like, I don't understand why these niggas can't. I did. Joe Burrow's only beaten them once out of the last 6 or 7 times that they've ever played each other, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me, you little ass niggas. I love to quote every single particular thing. Hey, they still fighting in the chat on that Terrence Crawford video about getting shot in the back of the head versus a grazed bullet. They talking. I saw a
If a
comment
bullet touched you,
yesterday.
you got shot. That's
You
all
got
I.
shot, nigga. That's crazy. But those are locked in. I'm going to remind the audience who they have. We have Jackson has the Chiefs winning. He has the Cowboys winning. He has the Buffalo Bills begrudgingly winning. He has the Browns winning, and he has the Ravens winning. Those are his picks. My picks as follows: the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Jets, the Steelers, and the Eagles. Begrudgingly, because I don't really like rooting for the Eagles. And that's our picks, man. Let's have a good season. Anyway, it's time for the hot takes. Go ahead.
All right. I've been waiting to get this hot take off ever since you said that nonsense you said. I think the New York Giants are going to have a top 5 draft pick in this upcoming season because the New York Giants are a terrible football team. They've not always been bad. They won a couple of Super Bowls because fucking Eli Manning. But the New York Giants, they're not a good football team. They haven't been a good football team in a very long time. I just personally think they suck, and I think it's because Daniel Jones is a terrible quarterback. Greg, I have a question for you. How many games are in the football season now?
17, right?
Yeah, 17. You're correct. Guess how many touchdowns Daniel Jones threw last season?
17.
He threw 15 touchdowns.
Oh shit!
He couldn't even get one touchdown a game.
Damn,
he threw
that's crazy.
15 Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. He threw 15 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. They were good last year because of Saquon, and 2 because of Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll, he's a great coach. I hope he doesn't get fired because, like I said, I think he's a great coach. He deserves to be there. But I just don't think they can keep it going. The last year, the Giants had the 18th ranked offense in yards and the 25th ranked defense in yards. And they also had the 25th ranked defense in turnovers because they couldn't get any turnovers. They really don't have good defenders. On offense, their only good player is Saquon. They have a whole bunch of number 2 and number 3 receivers masquerading as number 1 receivers. Their O line is sort of solid. I won't lie. It's okay. Their O line is decent, but the New York Giants, they're not a good team. They're going to have a top 5 draft pick, and it's going to be glorious because I hate the Giants. And that's like the Giants are like the only team in sports I hate, and I hate the Giants. So it's going to be glorious seeing them get that top 5 draft pick. Now, what is your hot take?
Damn. I don't know. I don't know if I want to walk it back. I don't know. Fuck it. I'm going to say it. I ain't pussy. Steve Kerr is an overrated coach.
You're cooking. Keep it going.
He's one of the most overrated coaches I've seen in quite some time. He's benefited from the Greg Popovich coaching tree so much that they're almost considering everything that Steve Kerr do as the gospel, and it all starts. And people are now starting to see it because of the FIBA tournament and what he's been able to do in the FIBA tournament. Yes, this is not Kevin Durant and all the great players that you had. This is not Coach K, coaching LeBron and all that shit. I understand that. But at the same time, this nigga's lineups have been ass for so fucking long throughout this FIBA tournament. He's treating this shit like the fucking Warriors. And this nigga does not know how to adapt. There's a difference between Greg Popovich and a nigga like Steve Kerr, which is why we talk about what's that nigga name? Oh my god, Mike Spoelstra. Oh my god, what's that name? Eric Spoelstra. Eric Spoelstra being the greatest coach out there right now. Like Eric Spoelstra is a better coach than Steve Kerr, and I'm gonna stand on that. I'm gonna stand on that until the wheels fall off, because Steve Kerr, his first thing that he did was put Anthony Edwards coming off the bench. Nobody in their right mind ever thought that was going to be a good idea. They lost to the B team in Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham, and then all of a sudden, what happens when you put Anthony Edwards in? All of a sudden, you start winning fucking games. We lost to Lithuania based off the sole fact that we had no rim protection or wasn't grabbing any boards. They were all bigger than us on the defensive glass, offensive glass, and he's just so obsessed with playing small ball, putting Paulo Banchero at the 5, which is cool and all, but that's not like a crazy thing that you have to do. Like, this is not Draymond Green, my nigga. This is not Steph Curry. This is not Klay Thompson. Like, you just got so locked in on Warriors basketball that you don't know how to adapt to other talent, which is making me a little concerned, because it's just like, what happens when these niggas retire? Are you going to adapt?
I think.
Am I going to really see who you are for real? Like,
once Steph gone, I think he's gone. Like, once that core is gone, I think Steve Kerr is retiring, because he's already.
I think that's the best thing he can do.
Like, he's already sort of like flirted with the idea of retirement, and like, so I could 1000% see that happening.
Yeah, being an overrated coach doesn't mean you're necessarily the worst coach of all time.
And he's not bad. He's just not.
He's not bad, but like, when we talk about him and his championship rings, we put him in certain circles and in certain upper echelons of certain coaches that he probably has no business being a part of.
1000.
But it's, you know what I mean? But it comes off disrespectful if I say he's overrated. But he is, in my opinion. I'm gonna stand on it. I didn't know if I was gonna say it, but
no, it needed to be said. But one thing, like Steve Kerr, like, he has benefited from Steph and all them. So like, I think without them, he'd be an average coach. Like, but with them, he's walking into the Hall of Fame very easily with them.
Absolutely. Like, and I don't, and to this day, maybe it's just the saltiness in me. I really feel like Mark Jackson isn't appreciated as much because he wasn't allowed or able to see it all the way through.
Yeah.
You can't tell me he wasn't going to win the championship with that squad. I don't know. I really thought he was at least one. He may not have won all the ones that Steve Kerr did. Maybe Steve's philosophy is different. He's able to unlock something in Steph that nobody can. But
like, I think like Mark left like the year before they took, or not left, but he got fired like the year before they took off, bro. Like, I think no matter what Steph was gonna do, he was gonna have that explosion no matter what. So I feel like Mark Jackson definitely could have got him one.
No, and they called Mark Jackson delusional because in 2013, 2012, he was like, "Yo, I got the best backcourt in the NBA, in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson." He was like, "Oh yeah, like in 3 years." No, nigga, right now, I got the best backcourt in the NBA.
They called him a madman.
They called the nigga madman. They called the nigga delusional. And then 3 or 4 years later, when niggas all finally saw the vision, guess who got that credit? Steve Kerr, bro. I don't know, bro. Like, I think Mark Jackson would have been a Hall of Fame, and maybe he is a Hall of Fame head coach, but like, he would be a definitively Hall of Fame head coach if they allowed him to see that shit through. Obviously, some off the court issues didn't allow him to see that shit through, but that's a good ass head coach, bro. He built that shit,
and
he built the foundation,
he's not
bro.
Getting another opportunity, bro.
He's never getting another opportunity, and I think at this point he's at peace with it. But he set the foundation for what the Golden State Warriors are, bro. Like, That's crazy to me.
How old is Mark Jackson? Mark Jackson, he is. Let me see. Yeah, he's 58. I think. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get another opportunity to be a coach.
And shout out to his brother. Rest in peace to Escalade. And one mixtape legend. Always want to give a shout to that big man that knows how to handle the rock. But yeah, man, great pod, great episode, man. If you realize why we've had to cut out a few minutes, this nigga Jax, the greatest multitasker of all time, baby. That nigga is really lights, camera, Jackson for real.
Don't shut
that
up.
nigga is lights, camera, Jackson, my nigga. He can do it all, baby. He could do it all.
Oh my bro! End this episode. I gotta get back to work. End this episode.
Yeah, nigga. Hey, this is how committed we are to the grind, my nigga. We doing this shit on the clock, bro.
On the clock.
We doing this on the clock. You see, this is why we never say your last name, because niggas gonna look you up.
Yeah.
Shit crazy.
But employers,
right,
if you do happen to hear this podcast, it's all jokes. I would never work on the clock on a pod. Doesn't even make sense. You know, like, why would I do that?
And my employers, if you are listening, I do. I do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do. And you should be proud of me because I'm strengthening my work ethic, my work. You know what I mean? I'm honing my skills for what I got to do for y'all. You know what I mean? It's all full circle.
It sounds like you need a raise to me. That's just
honestly, I need a new title.
Like Chris Jones.
Like. I'm saying, but they gonna call me a madman. They gonna release me. It is. All right, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Like the pod. Continue to like all of these videos. Y'all been going crazy on the Michael Orr shit. Yeah. And I saw a lot of y'all niggas, and I'm gonna leave it at this. I saw a lot of y'all niggas DMing me personally about how you felt about the Wilt Chamberlain shit. And I'm just like, I just think it's funny how you just not saying this shit with your chest in the comment section down below. Shit crazy. You see how they fit in the narrative? Because that hasn't gotten a lot of views. That didn't go crazy like them other ones. Like that shit hasn't even hit 1,000 views yet. Like 1,000 plays yet, right?
Interesting.
I just think it's funny how we're just trying to push Wilt Chamberlain under the rug when we start talking about black women. I thought it was protect black women. I thought it was uplift black women. All of a sudden, I start talking about Wilt Chamberlain and how he feel. Ends up only getting a certain amount of likes, 1,000 plays, under 1,000 plays. But Michael Orr, let some downfall happen to him.
Let something bad happen to a black man. You guys are all liking that one. Even with the Terrence,
we just saw
the Terrence Crawford when he got shot. Everybody liked that.
That was our best one.
Interesting.
I just think it's funny. It's getting real suspicious out here. I don't know. We'll see how this Bishop Sycamore one come out, and then I'll see how we really feel. But keep liking those. I appreciate all of that stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Any last words, Jax?
No, because I got to get back on. I got work to do. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, nigga. All right. With that being said, we'll catch y'all next week, man. Peace.